really pleased. Think that he improved, our running back room. Obviously, we haven't been in a game yet, or really even any live situations to this point. We are going to go, around 30 snaps of live tomorrow. And then next Saturday do some live stuff. But love his demeanor. He's a quick learner. I like his feet. I think he's got enough size and enough speed to improve us. And I think the combination of he and J-Mac and Shadro, I'm optimistic that we've improved ourselves there.
What attracted you to him in the recruiting process? And obviously with the recruiting process being what it is now, it's obviously very different. But and how has he lived up to that since he's gotten here?
Well, I loved his demeanor. I loved his personality, and I think he wants to be coached. He wants to be good. He loves ball, and obviously his tape kind of spoke for itself to me. I thought he had good vision, and I thought he had good change of direction. It's hard to really tell sometimes how fast somebody really is. I think he's fast enough, and he's everything that I thought about him in our conversations on Zoom and getting to know each other. His personality was accurate, and he loves to work, loves the film room, and has really been a pleasant kid to coach since he's been here.
Switch gears, talk a little bit about the defensive side. A guy like Javon Scruggs, we talk about him all the time, but for us being on the outside, for you being on the inside, you see his veteran leadership and how much it affects the new guys that are coming in. Have you been able to see that play itself out to this point in spring ball?
Yeah, every day. He's the leader of our defense, so that's the expectation. That's what comes with his life right now, and I think he's embraced it and has done that every single day of spring ball. So I'm very, very pleased with Scruggs.
Is there any examples you can give specifically that you can think? I don't kind of put you on the spot, but just anything. Do you see him talking to the young guys?
Every day. Every day. That's the expectation. That's what we talk about. That's what we meet. And while he's not getting reps, he's back there coaching and encouraging and correcting and pulling them off to the side. A kid got beat in a one-on-one drill, and immediately his body language changed, and immediately Scruggs is on. No. That's not how we do it. It's okay to get beat. Just play the next play, but we don't. Our body language don't slump and we become discouraged so he's I've said it all along. The great teams have a coaching staff that are of one voice, but they also have players that are the voice in the locker room, and I think that's who we have in him.
One last one for me, then we'll get to some others from the media. If you could kind of talk about Coach Huntley a little bit, just how he's working with the corners this spring. He's been around on your staff ever since you got here, but what are some of the things that he's working on with developing maybe some of the new guys and even some of the veterans?
Well, first, Coach Huntley is a great developer of men. I think he's a great mentor, and that room is typically filled everywhere I've been with people that need some mentoring, and it's just the way it is. In the corner and receiver room and D-line room, there's a lot of great players in there, but seems like they always come with, man, we need some guidance, and so Coach Huntley is very good at that. We've said since we've been here we need to elevate that room. It needs to have more depth and more kids that we can put on an island and guard, whether it be a boundary guy or a field guy. And obviously we think we've added some good kids there, and of course Megason's back and Haskins is back, and Biggins I think is going to be really good. You just got to bring him along. He's just a freshman, but man, he's already improved a lot since his time of getting here. Deron Lowe I think is going to be a a guy you can put to the field and say guard a guy. Really pleased with Jimmy Fox and his attitude, his leadership in that room too, and he's competing, which that hasn't always been the case, and really pleased with that. So, I think, and I tell you, DeJohn Anthony is a wild card in that. Boy, he could be a boundary corner if he continues to impress. I could see him playing some. He's maybe a lot. I'm not ready to say that, but he is big and physical, and into the boundary it can be a handful if he gets his hands on you. So Coach Hundley's working on developing all of those guys, and been pleased. There's no question we're better than we were.
Thank you, Coach. We'll get to John Manson next with Cedar Red.
Coach, you all announced the red, white, and blue preview here next Saturday. What should fans expect out of that event?
Yeah, I'm not into that one. I don't know. We're gonna have a practice. I don't know what, and I'm hoping that I told Ian, and I have no problem with people coming to practice. I wish we could open it up and let everybody come. I guess the number's still 1,000. I've heard. I'm not really into who gets to be those 1,000, and I'm glad I'm not. But they will see a lively practice, and there will be a lot of live periods. It will not be a traditional spring game of keeping score, but they will get to witness a very, very physical live practice.
Let's go to Jermaine Farrell from FXR.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, same to you.
Number one, obviously, this is the time of the year for March Madness. Do you kind of follow that a little bit? And obviously, Liberty is in it, and obviously, but do you follow it in general when that time comes?
Absolutely. I've always thought it's one of the greatest sporting events in a given year, and just always so many great stories and great endings and competitiveness, and I don't know that they'll be. I guess it starts tonight. Those are play-in games tonight, if my understanding is right. I don't know if I'll catch a lot of that, but when the tournament starts tomorrow, on my TV, when I do have time, we'll be tuned into one or two of those games, trying to just figure out who I think's hot. And me and my family and my girls always kind of do our own little bracket together, just our family, and for bragging rights. And we'll see who. I did see that they all we all had. Not all. 3 of the 5 had very similar Final Fours and winning it, so that'll be interesting to see.
How neat would it be, this is sort of the extra question, not the second one, how neat would it have been to put your football season last year through the One Shining Moment song? Because obviously, if there was ever a year that could probably fit that, it would have been the last football season.
Yeah, we probably need to do something like that. I'll get with our media people. That'd be another recruiting tool that we can put it to some type of music like that. It was a great year for sure. It was fun, celebrated, and it'll be a great memory. But we've kind of shifted gears now and flipped the script to we got to move on to 2021, because the wins last year won't help us a bit come fall.
Got a chance to get some of the spring practice in before the COVID hit. Kind of compare, that time period to where you are now, because, COVID kind of hit us right about now when it started shutting things down, but you guys actually did get some spring football in.
Yeah, I think we got 4 practices. I think we were getting ready for practice 5 when we got the word that we needed to shut it down. So it wasn't a lot, and 2 of those were non-padded, and so we didn't get a lot. But obviously, to fast forward to this point, we've been fortunate the last few weeks that our testing results have been very, very good, and we've enjoyed going through the spring ball. But in our mind, like I said, I think one of the reasons we had success, and we just continue to say, is we just control what we can control, and we have zero control over the COVID test or what they say, or we just don't blink, and you got to play the next one and hopeful that should anyone in and around our program be caught up in positive with the COVID, that it certainly is not severe or life-altering, and that they don't experience severe symptoms. That's been our constant prayer and mindset, is just let's don't worry about what we can't control.
All right, Coach. So if you do that one shining moment video, I want some credit on it. I want credit. I'm going to ask for it. So
I'll tell Apon and his crew.
How much has your special teams? Have you gotten into special teams work? And if you've gotten into some, what are you seeing out of? Obviously, you got all your specialists back. What are you seeing out of some of those guys?
Yeah, the only thing we ever do in spring, I don't know why, I just have never, is we do PAT field goal and we do punt. We don't work a lot of others in spring. We'll wait till fall camp on that, but I expect Aiden to be very solid again, and Barbier to be the same. Barbier's had a little hamstring, so he hasn't kicked a lot, but would expect us to be even better in those areas.
And at wide receiver, a lot of your slot guys, or pretty much all your receivers, are back from last year, and you got a lot of experience there in the slot. But as far as outside, with CJ out right now, and I know Caleb is injured and maybe limited right now. What are some of the other guys you're seeing so far on the outside, and how they produced so far through spring?
Be truthful, we've got a ways to go. With outside guys, we've got to get more consistent in winning our one-on-ones there. Whether it be Noah's solid. Lofton's had some up and down practices. We need more out of Sibley or Ahmad. C.J. Daniels has been solid, but he's been hampered with injury too. That room's been a little beat up, so it's really hard for me to have an accurate evaluation right now.
Last question for me. What about some of the quarterbacks you've seen? Obviously, you got Bennett behind Willis. Obviously, you got Bennett, which we know a lot about him, but some of the other youngsters, how are they looking in the reps they're receiving?
Nate's a high IQ, quick learner, big, strong kid. I think he's got potential to be a really good player. Also Sean Brown and Will Bowers continue to impress with their accuracy. And, I'm happy with all those guys. Obviously, we need JB to make sure he's ready. And he's getting a lot more reps than Willis is this spring. We've got to have him ready to go.
All right, we got time for maybe one more if anyone's got anything. I don't.
I'm good.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to ask you real quick. You mentioned that you do a fun family brackets deal with your family and all. So who's really the big winner in that? I mean, who's the one that's really rocking and rolling with the picks?
I don't know. It's too early to tell. We'll see. I was disappointed that we all were too similar toward the end. So I don't. I mean, if all of us are right, it'll be pretty close. But I've watched so little college basketball this year. I have no clue if there's any wisdom in my picks at all on our family bracket. So I have no clue what's going to happen. Just know I picked Liberty to win. So hope that happens.